I'm Nick Shell, and I am wearing a yellow shirt. You are not. You're not wearing a yellow shirt. You might be Nick Shell. You could be a clone. I don't know. I'm not so much into science. But I did receive a comment this morning when I woke up, and I'm happy about this comment because it's on what I feel is one of my most underrated videos I've ever done. I think it holds a lot of weight, yet people ignore it. And that makes me sad and anxious, and I cry and I weep, and I write about it on Twitter. So the video I'm referring to is this. It's called Am I Balding? Try this out. 1-year-old photo contest. Of course, in case you haven't seen the video, which you haven't because people don't appreciate the video, but in that video I explain my theory about how your photo of yourself at 1 year old exactly is a good projection of what your hairline will look as a 35-year-old male, as a grown person. And I base this on the fact that there's a similar theory based on your height. When you're 2 years old, double the inches, and that's how many inches tall you'll be as an adult. It worked on me, it worked on my sister, it adds up for my son when he turned 2. It did the math, he'll be about an inch shorter than me based on that. I believe that there's certain algorithms that you can look at younger in life, and they're a projection for the future. Not that they're always accurate. Nothing. I mean, there's always an exception to the rule, right? But sorry, I had to do that as an intro before we get to the comment. Harry Chung said this, quote, I did think about this before. If you search baby pictures of Tom Hanks, this is correct. There are many babies born with a receding hairline, end quote. And it's funny because even me, I can see this on my daughter, who she's just turned 1, and she basically has a Norwood 3. You know, and what that tells me about her as an adult is that she'll have a higher forehead. She won't have this low hairline. And people have been asking me that. Well, Nick, I've heard that if you have a tall forehead, then that's a good indication you're gonna go bald. Well, I don't know for sure about that, but I do definitely believe that if you look at a kid's hair and their hairline, it's a projection of how they're going to look as an adult. But I think specifically 1 year old for men, for boys I should say, is the projection of them as an adult. It worked for me. You can watch the video that I refer to. And again, if you need to pause this video and write this down and look it up. The video on my channel called Am I Balding? Try this out, 1 year old photo contest. I prove it. I show a picture of myself at age 35. And you see that it's the same exact, even hairstyle, but the same exact hairline. You'll see it in this video. Now, let's talk more about this, because here someone is finally backing up my theory. Now, I think the reason this got shot down, because Robert, and you know I like you, Robert, but Robert is very quick to shoot my theory down by saying, yeah, but look at Prince William. You can see him at 1 year old, and look at him now. He's 35, and he's basically bald on top. But there's always an exception to the rule. Just like another one of my hair loss theories is that, as we are all familiar with, Asian men typically are less likely to grow a full, thick beard, but they're also less likely to lose most of their hair by the time they're 40 or 50 years old. Whereas European men, or of European descent, we can grow a thicker beard quicker, and we're more likely to lose our hair. Now, so what that means is there are Asian men who are completely bald and can grow a beard, and there are Scottish men who can't grow a beard and have thick hair at age 60. There's exceptions to the rule, and I can't emphasize that enough. But I don't want those exceptions to the rule to drown out the fact that my theories have some credibility. They really do. My theories have some credibility. So I want to encourage all of you, especially that are new to the channel. I want you to, because I know that you were younger and I'm not trying to be funny, but talk to your mom. Say, look, I want to find a photo of myself when I was 1 year old, not 1.5, not 8 months, 1 year old. I know you took a photo of me when I was 1. Let me see that picture. And then I want you to look at it, and I want you to look at your hairline, and I want you to look at even density too. And then I want you to think to yourself, Nick Shell says, and according to his theory that he invented, that's going to be what my hair looks like when I am fully grown at age 35. Not at 18, but at age 35, because by 35, that tends to be when, if hair loss is really going to kick in, it's going to kick in by that age. That's why I'm going with 35. Now, another thing I just wanted to talk about too is like going back to this beard and hair loss theory. It's funny because so my wife, her mother's like 73, and my father-in-law passed away like a month after we got married nearly 9 years ago. So her mom got remarried to this guy named Joe, who's the same age as my mother-in-law, 73 years old. He has a Norwood 3, probably not even as bad as mine. He slicks back his hair, it's kind of long on top, and then he gets it down to like a number 3 or whatever on the sides of the back. And I was thinking, okay, he's 73 years old, he's got most of his hair, and unlike me, he has no thinning. It's a Norwood 3, but there's no thinning. So man, I mean, that's pretty amazing. In my eyes, if you can make it to age 73, Norwood 3 but no thinning, that's impressive. And then I thought, I wonder if he could grow a beard when he was young, because my theory is, if you, like me, I was shaving a full beard by the time I was 16. Like, and if I didn't shave, I'd have stubble the next day. That was me. And most people I talked to and have interviewed on my channel that still have all their hair, they can't relate to that story. They weren't shaving at least into their 20s. And so anyway, with Joe, he's 73, Norwood 3, age 73, no thinning. And one way I tested this out is, because we were at the beach, I looked at his arm hair, and I looked at his leg hair, and he really didn't have any. And it goes back to the Asian theory, because Asian guys typically don't have a lot of body hair. So it's not just about the beard, but they just typically don't have a lot of hair on their bodies. I learned this when I was in Korea, and there's a video about it where I talk about the overnight sauna thing, where I was in, a room full of 200, 300 Asian men and boys, and it's not weird. You watch the video if you want to know more about it. But anyway, so I'm the only European descended guy there, and all these naked men and guys are praising me for all my body hair. They're like, oh, look at your hair, like all this stuff. So then I realized, okay, I'm a hairier guy. I'm also more likely to lose my hair. These guys are less likely to lose their hair, and they've got less body hair. So I started realizing all these things. But anyway, so Joe, he doesn't really have much body hair, but he still kept his hair. So the 1-year-old photo theory. Forget about Prince William. I don't care about him. He's the exception to the rule. I believe that so much of your anxiety you have about hair loss, being a young guy losing your hair, it could be ended if you simply take a look at your photo and get back to me in the comments and let me know how your hairline looked when you were exactly 1 year old with a photo. I'm telling you, people don't appreciate it, but it's real.